Many of us remember the late Eva Kor, the Holocaust survivor who became a tireless educator and champion of human rights. Eva traveled the world telling her family's story, teaching people about the Holocaust, and promoting the power of forgiveness. She created the Candles Holocaust Museum and Education Center in Terre Haute in the 90s. Eva died in 2019 at the age of 85. Now her son, Dr. Alex Kor, has written a new memoir chronicling the lives of his parents and his own. It's titled A Blessing, Not a Burden, My Parents' Remarkable Holocaust Story and My Fight to Keep Their Legacy Alive. And Dr. Kor joins me more with his new book this morning. First of all, I just wanted to say it is such an honor to meet you this morning, and we appreciate you taking the time to come on and talk about the lives of your parents. You are a child of two Holocaust survivors. A lot of people know the story of your mom, but not much about your father. Can you tell us about both?
Yeah, of course. So most people do know my mom's story, but over the last several years, particularly since my father passed away, I would tell people about my dad and they say, oh, we didn't know he was a survivor. And so, of course, my mom was one of the Mengele twins. She was experimented on by Dr. Joseph Mengele. My mom and my aunt survived because of those experiments, and my mom went on to a very well-known journey to forgiveness. Well, as my father kind of kept a low profile.
Right.
Most people don't know he was rescued by a lieutenant colonel from Terre Haute, Indiana.
Wow. Outside
of Buchenwald. He was on a death march and ran. And so he ended up in Terre Haute, not speaking much English. 2 years later, he was taking a gym class at Indiana State University by a guy by the name of John Wooden. Some people might know him.
Yeah, we know that name.
And so my dad became friends with Coach Wooden. And anyway, long story, he years later did start lecturing and talking about his experiences. And so it was a unique way to grow up in Terre Haute, Indiana, being Jewish, being the son of two Holocaust survivors. And so I thought this was an appropriate time to tell their story and mine.
Yeah, this memoir talks about their lives and your upbringing. And what was your upbringing like?
Unique.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And, my first language in Terre Haute was Hebrew, believe it or not.
Wow.
And so, but, over the years, there were a lot of valuable lessons that my parents taught me about not being materialistic. We were always trying to keep up with the Joneses, and as being a son of two Holocaust survivors, my parents told me, look, you don't need a special shirt. You have 5 shirts in your closet.
Absolutely.
When I was your age, I had 1 shirt.
Wow. Your mom regularly visited Auschwitz, and this is video we're looking at from Auschwitz a day before she died, being serenaded by a children's choir from Los Angeles. Why did she keep returning?
Many, many reasons, but at the end of the day, she wanted to educate the world. And she thought it was so important for people to come and see and experience Auschwitz. They could watch it on YouTube, they could read books, watch movies, but for her to be there and for them to understand what she went through, I think changed so many lives along the way.
Yeah, your mom, and one thing I do remember about her is how she forgave and her forgiveness. She literally said that was her way to heal.
We talk about that a lot now, and everybody has a different way to heal, and her journey was to forgive, and it's helped a lot of people, and it's still poorly understood, but she kind of stumbled upon it, and yeah. I think, quite frankly, as a son, it probably extended her life another 15 to 18 years because she could smile and be happy, and that wasn't always the case when I was younger.
But even forgiving the people, the Nazis, who created the situation.
It's very controversial. It's, my father, years later, decided to forgive. A lot of people don't know that story, but no, it is still something that people discuss and debate, and it's not for everyone, but I do think that it's something that people can look upon when they're in difficult situations. Hey, somebody else forgave a terrible atrocity, maybe I can forgive something lesser and become healed and no longer have that chip on my shoulder.
Yeah, and you're encouraging other family members of Holocaust survivors to tell their story. Why?
I think now, unfortunately, in this world that we live in, hate is a bigger and bigger problem, and there are less and less Holocaust survivors alive. And it's up to us, the second generation, third and fourth generation, to tell our parents, grandparents' stories so that people don't forget what happened. Pretty soon it's going to be ancient history. Textbooks can be changed. I think it's very, very important that I continue what I'm doing, and that hopefully the book is a call to action for other descendants of the Holocaust.
I've been to Auschwitz several times, and just being there, you just can't imagine what people went through, and for you to be able to tell this story of your parents who both lived it. I can't say enough of appreciation for you to be here to bring this memoir for us to share and tell your story and their story. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Really do appreciate it. To learn more about Dr. Kaur's book and about the Candles Museum in Terre Haute, go to fox59.com/links.